Oh, there we are. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Killer Author Club. We're always stunned when we go live, but we're here. We're so happy you're here too. Okay, so we are here with the one and only Elle Cosimano talking about Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, the hilarious and heart-pounding third book in her beloved Finlay Donovan series. We have so much to talk to her about, so grab your cocktail, your list of questions for Elle, and sit tight. We will see you on the flip side.
Thought you really loved me, guess I was wrong. Thought you'd never leave me, guess I was dumb. Waited like forever to be your plus one, but I guess you were done.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back after a little intro. I'm Killer Kara Bruda, along with founding members Heather. I never put this right. Heather, nope. Okay, whatever. Heather's over there. Gudenhoff and Kimberly Bell. And we're so excited to welcome Elle to the Clubhouse. The Killers and I started the Killer Author Club so that readers like you can interact with some of the best suspense and thriller authors in the business. Killers like Robin Harding, Sherry Lapina, Frida McFadden, and the amazing and hilarious Karen Slaughter. All those are upcoming episodes, so you can just go to killerauthorclub.com to find out more. But tonight, we're here with Elle to talk about killing of the fictional kind, of course. So make sure you drop your questions into the comments, and we can't get to them all, but we will get to as many as we can. And if you're watching this on Facebook or have a Facebook account, check out our public group. This is where we do all the promotional stuff. Killer Author Club. Or if you're a really hardcore killer, you have to join our private members-only group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, where we just had a book club where we chatted with Rachel Killer Croft about her smash hit Stone Cold Box. So if you missed that, go join the Clubhouse and you can watch it right now. Not now because we're doing this now, but after this. Anyway, next up, Nicole Bart and The Long Way Home, Long Way Back on August 15th. And again, that happens only in the Clubhouse. So you need to join and become a member. It's really fun in there. Okay, we also have a YouTube channel and we're up to 316 subscribers. So we really want to get to 1,000. So you guys just, everybody go join us, subscribe on YouTube. And you can find us all wasting entirely too much time on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. So follow us everywhere and that would be swell. Okay. Now, without further ado, Kimberly, would you please introduce our killer guest?
Yes, I need to do that. I would love to. So Elle is a New York Times and USA Today best-selling author, an International Thriller Award winner, a Bram Stoker Award finalist, and an Edgar Award nominee. Her acclaimed young adult novels include Nearly Gone, Holding Smoke, The Suffering Tree, and Seasons of the Storm. Elle's debut novel for adults, Finlay Donovan, is killing it. Kicked off a witty, fast-paced, contemporary mystery series, which was People magazine pick and named one of New York Public Library's best books of 2021. In addition to writing novels for teens and adults, her essays have appeared in the Huffington Post and Time. And a little fun fact that we happened to see on her Instagram, I believe, Finlay and Elle were a clue in the Washington Post Sunday crossword puzzle. Elle lives with her husband and two sons in Virginia. Welcome, Elle.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. It feels special to be a killer tonight, like legit.
I love it. So we're here tonight to talk about Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. Can you give us a quick little elevator pitch for that book, please?
Yeah. So for those of you who maybe have not yet jumped into the series, this is the third book in the Finlay Donovan mystery series about Finlay Donovan, who is a recently divorced single mother of two very young kids who is struggling to make it as a romantic suspense novelist when she is overheard having lunch with her literary agent in a crowded Panera, and she's mistaken for a contract killer, and chaos ensues. And we are now 3 books into the series, with the 4th getting ready to come out in March. And Jumps the Gun was a super fun installment to write because it takes place at a citizens police academy. So I got to do all kinds of, I got to stretch my creative wings with this one a little bit. It was different. It was great. And we had a lot of fun putting it together.
I love it. And we have lots of questions about the book, and we'll talk more in a minute. And you guys, I've already seen some questions roll by. But for now, everybody settle in for the killer cocktail of this episode.
Yes. So, Elle, you chose the Oreo White Russian. Oh, gosh. Now, tell us why you chose that particular.
Yum. That's my kind of cocktail, by the way.
I picked this one because it just felt very Finlay. If you follow the books, if you know the books, you know that there is an element of the Russian mob. So we have mobsters, and so vodka seemed like a very good choice for this. We know that Finlay doesn't get a lot of rest because she's the mother of small children, and she survives on a lot of caffeine. So a coffee liqueur also seemed appropriate. And we know that Oreos are a comfort food for Finlay and Vero. And I just felt like this cocktail, kind of like the series, embodies all the best parts of both child and adulthood. So when we put them together, it kind of seemed sort of perfect, you know?
Perfect. Yes. Looks delicious.
Yum.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody out there. Congratulations on another amazing read.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good.
I'm kind of jealous.
I
know. Very thematic and also very good. I like that in our cocktails. So yeah, and you guys, we will post the recipe because I think that Elle's going to drink hers really fast. And just kidding. Okay, so now comes the segment where we're going to talk about the book in depth. We're so excited. So Janet Ivanovich calls the book fresh, heartfelt, witty. Finlay Donovan jumps the gun, is a twisty page turner, and its relatable heroine, Finlay Donovan, is irresistible. Another great blurb. It would be next to impossible to find another author who writes stories that are as thrilling as they are hilarious. By now, I love Finlay Donovan so much I would 100% hide a dead body for her. That's so, I mean, right? Like, that's the thing about Finlay. You just have to love her. You just fall in love. And Kirkus says, fasten your seatbelts, murder most madcap. So, Elle, we need to know, we all need to know, who do you kill?
I feel very strange answering this question because it almost feels like a confession, you know, like, are we off the record? Is this a safe?
Sort of, we're off the record. It's a safe space, but yeah, we're not really off the record. Yeah.
So who do I kill? In these particular books, it's really fun because I can honestly say, like, these are happy books. These are joyful books. They're fun books. Like, I think people leave these books with a full and happy heart and a smile. And so I kill a lot of people in these books, but they deserve it, every single one of them. So it's quite a balancing act in answering that question with each book. And I remember very vividly when we wrote the first one, we weren't 100% sure of that question, because when I first started conceptualizing the Finlay Donovan series, I didn't picture it quite this way. I didn't picture her, necessarily falling on the right side of the law, and more of a Dexter mommy, sort of like a darker sort of book. And then the more it developed and the more it grew, and with feedback from editors and agents, we sort of started realizing that, we wanted Finlay to be this really likable, redeemable person. And so we really had to reevaluate the question of, not only who do I kill, but who's doing the killing.
Yeah.
And it sort of complicated things. And it's been a really fun challenge for me, having come from years of writing very, very dark and suspenseful stories. It's been a challenge to get Finlay's toes as close to that moral line as I can get them, without ever letting her quite step over. Mm-hmm. And as an author, that's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, and you do it so well. Yeah, that's so amazing. I can see, like, sitting down and starting to write something like Dexterich, and then all of a sudden this like light is on. Like, it's like a light on her, and she like goes through the world even though she's close to that line. It's so well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this commenter, I agree with this. I've never read anything like this series. It's so special and unique. I agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's Renee coming in with a question. She's great with the question. How did you come up with Finlay's life?
Oh, wow. Originally, I came up with the idea for Finlay, believe it or not, in a crowded Panera Bread. I was having a working lunch with my critique partners, Megan Miranda and Ashley Elston, and I was plotting through out loud in a very crowded restaurant a really tricky plot point in a very dark, murdery book I was working on, when it became very clear that the woman at the table beside us had been eavesdropping, and she looked deeply, deeply uncomfortable with the conversation, and she like up and left. She just walked out of the restaurant, and we thought that was hilarious, and that sort of became the seed for the story when later that night we were laughing and joking about it over drinks, and someone posed the question, wouldn't it have been hilarious if she had assumed you were contract killers? And so it was like this light bulb moment where I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a great story. And I actually asked my critique partners to write it. I said, I can't, this is not the kind of story I could ever pull off. Like, I need one of you to do it. And they said, absolutely not. No way. Like, this is your baby now. And they were the ones who, I won't say pushed me to do it, but encouraged me to do it and really made me believe I could do it and helped me brainstorm it and get me started. And so they sort of became the inspiration for the relationship with Vero, that, fantastic unconditional female friendship where we just have that person in our corner who's always cheering for us, and they're that for me. So Finlay's situation and her relationship were sort of inspired by true events. Her life, a lot of those elements came from parts of mine. When I started writing Finlay, my writing career was not in a great place. I had been dropped by several publishers because while my books were acclaimed and doing well from a review standpoint, we weren't selling any. And that's sort of the kiss of death sometimes for a writing career. And so I was really struggling and trying to figure out if I was going to be able to keep doing this. And so I was in a very frustrated place with publishing. I was in a frustrated place with writing. And I think, what we see at the beginning of the story in Finlay's life, that struggle of juggling motherhood and career and trying to figure out, who you are and how much you can physically take on before you break. It was there were some parts of that came from very real places.
And the part where she's not being taken seriously as an author, I'm sure that was,
yes,
from a very personal place too sometimes.
And the deadlines, you just hit it perfectly through the right. Finlay trying to meet her deadlines. It's like we've all been there.
Yeah, and people ask me that, they're like, "Is it really like that? Like at the last minute, you're like writing all night?" And I was like, "There are times. Like this week has been a night of all nighters for me. I've got Finlay 4 is due on Monday, and so I'm having a lot of Finlay nights this week where it's 3 a.m. and I'm still in front of the computer, and sometimes I'm crying and sometimes I'm drinking, and there's a lot of that going on.
Gosh, thanks for making time to be with us. That's the hard times right then. Yeah, it's all worth it in the end because, really, you've created this character that so many people just love and can't wait to. That has to feel so rewarding because just from your imagination, bloom something that like they want book 2 and book 3 and book 4. That's so cool.
It's amazing because at the beginning, I didn't even know if this book was going to find a home. I wrote it as a passion project. I think just because I had this thing I just needed to get out of my system. And there was this horrible self-doubt, was I ever going to sell a book to another publisher? And so, it started as a passion project. And when it sold, it is a unique story. Coming back to that comment, it is a very unique story. So unique, it doesn't really fit in one genre, which sounds awesome and theoretically should be great. But from a sales standpoint, it's hard. We had a very hard time selling this book because the publishing community didn't really know what shelf to put it on. Where is it? How are we going to market it? Who's going to buy it? Where do we sell it? And so that was a struggle. And in the beginning, we weren't really sure. I was very, very lucky that Minotaur decided that they wanted to take this on. They loved the voice, they loved the story, they loved the character, and they said, we'll figure it out, let's do it together. And we've had so much fun with this book, finding letting it find its footing and experimenting and trying new things. But when it started out, we didn't know if it would fly. We didn't know. And so to see it take off in 25 translation territories, to see TV options get snapped up, to see the sales just continue to almost organically grow as people start talking about it with their book clubs and their friends and their families. It's been a beautiful, amazing, phenomenal thing to watch. It really has. I'm very grateful, and I'm super appreciative of the readers who take the time to share it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So I think, well, I don't know. For me, the thing that made it so compelling for me was the humor. And you start off like the whole series with this quote: "It's a widely known fact that most moms are ready to kill someone by 8:30 a.m. on any given morning." I mean, as soon as I read that, I was completely hooked. I'm like, okay, I'm in for the ride, because I know exactly what the promise of the premise is, So, like, where did that line come from? Are you a mother?
I am a mother. My youngest turned 18 today. And my oldest is 21, so I'm a little older than Finlay, and sort of mentally and emotionally bracing myself for the empty nest, which is around the corner next year. But yeah, when I started this book, and even now, like, the memories of raising toddlers become like a visceral, becomes a part of you. You will never forget the feel of Cheerio crumbs in a sticky, in a cup, like a cup holder in your car. Like, there are things about it that you just don't forget. You'll never forget the feeling of the way your kid's hair feels when when they're up against your face, like their soft little heads, and they're obviously less pleasant things you'll never forget either. But it becomes, there are certain things that you just never forget, even when your kids are older. And so when I was writing, it was fun from a distance to be able to remember some of those moments and look at them from a kind of almost a humorous standpoint. Like, I can look back and laugh now because it was so long ago. The bathroom, the bathroom chaos with toddlers, and the hair pulling and the fighting and the diaper catastrophes, and all of that is, when it's a little further away, you can have some fun with it. But in the moment, it's just chaos, and it's surviving day to day.
No joke.
A mutiny. But the morning I came up with that first line, I'll never forget it. We were on a vacation, and we had rented a cabin in the mountains, and it was much smaller in person than what they advertised on the pictures were swollen, let's say. So I had my two teenage boys, and we were preteens at the time. And I guess they were teenagers. And we were in this cabin, and they had to share a full-size pullout. And we were all in like one giant studio room together. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were fighting and arguing over the sheets and who farted, and like so-and-so was going to kick someone's butt. And it was like, and then it started, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, before 8 o'clock, I'm going to be ready to kill someone. And that was where it was like, it was so raw in that moment. It just came out, and I was like, wow, okay, this works. Let's keep going. And we just kept going.
I don't think there's a mother on the planet who wouldn't relate to that line.
Right. And that's the beauty of it is, she's a very real, I think, authentic voice.
And that's what this comment said. She said, "I'm living the toddler mom life right now and reading about Finlay. Felt like I was having wine with a friend. I felt her chaos on a personal level." Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Thank you. And it makes me feel so good to hear that, because I think sometimes kind of like writing can be really lonely. There are a lot of writers out there and we're all doing the same thing, but we're kind of doing it all by ourselves. Motherhood can feel like that too. And so it's really nice to hear from moms who are feeling seen in that, and finding ways to connect with other moms through Finlay's character and share some of that. It's really beautiful.
It really is. Aw.
And
there are a lot of people asking about book number 4. The title is Finlay Donovan.
Book number 4 is Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. The pre-order links are already live, so you can already find it like pretty much everywhere books are sold now. You can pre-order it. And if you would rather go with links, you can go to my website, and there are all kinds of links for places you can go to pre-order signed personalized copies, or buy them from in various formats. I know we have a lot of audiobook fans. The audio is very popular. If you're listening to the audio, you'll be very excited to know that Angela Daw is coming back to the studio to record number 4 for us.
Love it.
That's
And
great.
I just lost my question, but here it is. Oh, wait, here. When you look into the future for the Finlay Donovan series, do you see how many books there will be?
That's always such an interesting question to me, because so many people don't realize, and I love answering this because I want to try to educate as many people as possible. The answer to that question for series writers almost always depends on you, the reader. So series are never a sure thing. The life of the series depends entirely on the lifeblood of the sales that feed it. And so I've had series that started before and died after the second book because we just didn't have enough sales to keep them going. So when I think about the future of Finlay, I'm an optimist, and I think, gosh, everyone's going to find this book, everyone's going to read this book, and we can keep writing them and writing them and writing them. And I hope that that's true. Right now, I do know for a fact we are under contract through the first 7 books. So we have books 5, 6, and 7 coming next. And I'm very excited about that. Beyond that, it will really depend on the readers, and the more we sell, the more the publisher will assume everybody wants to read, and the more they will continue to buy more of them.
So really, it's up to all of you guys.
Yes. No pressure, but
No.
Finlay can keep on going.
And just
Keep
pre-order.
buying. And the 4th book comes out in March, right? Is that what you said?
In the US, the 4th book comes out March 5th.
Okay, March 5th. Yeah. And pre-order.
There's the game. Name of the game.
Yeah.
All right. So Kimberly, I think it's to you.
I'm already. Okay. So it is time for our giveaway. Elle is giving away a signed copy of the winner's choice of any Finlay Donovan book in the series to 3 lucky winners. US only, please. All you have to do is answer this question about our killer guest, and we will pick from the correct answer around this time tomorrow night. Bonus points for joining the Killer Author Clubhouse Facebook group or subscribing to our YouTube channel. And the question is, in which newspaper crossword puzzle were Finlay and Elle featured?
What
What could
bonus
it be?
points if you know it? The 4-letter answer too.
You can also find the answer on Elle's Instagram.
Yes, you can. Okay. Somebody don't copy that first answer. Okay. Heather.
yes, so we at the Killer Author Club love booksellers, and we always invite our killer guests to share one of their favorite booksellers. So we asked Elle, and she chose Bluebird Bookshop. Can you tell us a little bit about why this is such a special bookstore?
I love talking about Bluebird, and especially its owner and founder. Her name is Flannery Buchanan, and she is amazing. She is what we call a mompreneur. And she and I met several years ago when Finlay, the very first Finlay book, had just come out, and she was so supportive. And at the time, she was more or less a bookmobile. She had a vintage camper that she had converted into a bookstore, and she would drive to all these places in Virginia and sell books. And she was just so supportive. And it has been amazing because over the last 2 years, she has bought a brick and mortar shop, which has then doubled in size. And she's had these amazing events. She recently, we had an event with 260 people. She hosted TJ Klune, and that was amazing. We had the best time. And she's incredible. She's inspiring. She's hardworking. She has this store that is just beautiful, and I love supporting it. I would love it if you want a signed, personalized book. You can order it from Flannery at Bluebird Bookstop, and she and I will get together, and I will make it special for you, and she will ship it to you anywhere in the U.S.
Wonderful. And we have dropped that link, or we'll drop that link into the comments, so everybody can rush to click it after the show and order your very own copy, signed copy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Oh, it's me. Okay. All right. It's time for Killer Author Club Celebrates. So as much as we'd love to invite every amazing killer author to be featured on our shows, incredibly, we can't, because we actually, it's fun. It's popular now. So anyway, there's only 3 of us, and we like to sleep and see our families, but we can't let this evening go by without celebrating 2 more very special releases. Holly Stewart's The Good Ones and Alex Marwood's The Island of Lost Girls. So congratulations to those 2 authors too, and huge sales all around.
Yes.
I had the pleasure of doing an event with Polly just this week, and she is fabulous, and that book is fantastic. You definitely want to read it.
I love that cover. I was just admiring it. It's beautiful. Okay. So membership has its privileges, y'all. Every episode, we choose a name from the Killer Author Clubhouse. That's our private group. To win a piece of Killer Author Club swag, t-shirts, mugs, candles, totes, hats. All the greatest things can be found at killerauthorclub.com. Tonight's winner is Sarah White. Please send one of the killers your address, and we will send some killer swag your way.
And could it possibly be that time already? Elle, you are one of the few who have survived the Killer Author Club, and as a result, we have a little surprise for you. This lovely badge, where we would like for you to cut it out, hang it on your wall, wherever you want, put it on your shirt, and wear it proudly. So congratulations for
I love it.
Being the Killer Author Club.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
Aw, I think you still have some more of your drink to finish. Okay. Yes, there you go. There you go. Okay. And that does it for tonight's episode. I mean, you made it and everything. You might as well. There you go. Yep.
I just drink it.
I don't see any cookie crumbs.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, it does. And that does it for tonight's episode. Thanks for everybody who tuned in, and especially thank you, Elle, for coming and being with us on deadline and everything. We really enjoyed it. And we're back in 2 weeks on June 27th with another fabulous show right here, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, with the one and only Robin Harding, who will chat with us about The Drowning Woman, which is on the most anticipated list for Goodreads, Indigo, and She Reads, and came out today. So that will be fun. For times and a full schedule, past episodes, recipes, merch that you just have to have, go on over to killerauthorclub.com, and we'll see you right back here in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, I think you really need a Killer Author Club mug, don't you? Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.